Do we need men?
No.
Do we need men?
Honestly, no.
Do we need men?
No.
Why?
Because they suck.
What up, gents? Welcome to TSG UNCUT. I'm your host, Shaun C. Now, the modern women in the opening clip said that they don't need men. Now picture this, folks. Can society survive without men for 1 week? That sounds crazy, right? Now stick around, because today we're going to dive into this hypothetical scenario, and you're going to want to stay tuned into the end, because you're going to want to hear what ChatGPT had to say about this. With that being said, let's get started.
What are you looking for in a man now to wear this clothes?
I'm not looking for a man. Let's start there.
So you wake up one morning ready to conquer your day, and you find out that every man in the country has taken a week off. What would happen to our workplaces? Picture this. Your boss, who usually micromanages everything, is suddenly on vacation. The office feels like a ghost town, but hey, we can't forget about those Zoom meetings. Imagine logging on to an empty screen and realizing that it's not a technical glitch, but a nationwide brocation.
Do you think men and women are equal?
No, because I feel like men try to control women, and that's not right.
But I think modern women forget that office jobs and high-paying, cushy jobs aren't the only jobs that's out there. Think about all the broke dusties out there doing the blue-collar jobs, the back-breaking labor. You know, the jobs that women don't want to do. You're talking about the bus driver, the construction workers who maintain our roads, our bridges, our streets, even to the pilot who takes these modern women on their girls' trips. When you dig a little deeper, then you start to realize that the policemen and the firefighters who maintain order and protect us are mostly men. Then you got the supply chain guys who deliver the weave, the makeup, the clothing, and even the feminine products. Those are usually men. And my favorite, because this was the industry I was in, give it up for those engineers. You know, the people that keep the lights on, that give us good drinking water, gas, keep our infrastructure running. Many modern women say that they're too good for those type of men, much less try to do the jobs that they do. I mean, could society truly survive without those type of men holding it down at work? I don't think so.
Let's be honest, if all men disappeared tomorrow, shit would hit the fan. Major. But it's because of men like Sweet Tooth, electricians, people who work in infrastructure, transport, that society functions, and these men are not appreciated.
Let's talk about money, because let's face it, cash is what makes the world go around, and it rules everything around us. At least that's what modern women tell us. What happens to the economy when half the workforce is now on the beach drinking beers and sipping on good bourbons? Things might get a little rocky economically speaking. The stock market might resemble a roller coaster, and Wall Street, well, Wall Street might need an aspirin. Bottom line is, industries which are traditionally male-dominated, such as construction, manufacturing, and certain tech sectors, could experience disruption in production and in services. With a large portion of the workforce absent, businesses may struggle to meet deadlines and fulfill orders, leading to economic setbacks. Now, if the past is prologue, when economies take severe downturns, things get pretty crazy. That's about the time where you need someone to protect you, or to be able to protect yourself. Oh wait, the men aren't going to be worried about that stuff. They are taking a week off. Good luck, ladies. Again, can the economy truly survive without men helping to keep the wheels turning? Just a question.
I'll see you in there.
Can't wait. Love you. Bye.
Love ya.
Now let's not forget about the social scene. Without guys working, what happens to the usual hustle and bustle of our daily lives? Imagine a world where the local barbershops are a complete ghost town and the sports bars have turned into silent cinemas. Ladies, you might find yourself the queen of the town, but good luck on finding a man to buy you a drink when you go out. Good luck on finding a man who's gonna pay for your trough of oysters. Good luck on going out with no money and expecting everything to be free.
Gary, you want to buy me a drink?
No,
Oh, why?
because you're not going to stick with me.
response was perfect.
As a matter of fact, one of the reasons why women get into the club for free is to entice men to come to the club to be able to spend money on said women that are in the club. If there are no men that are running or in the club, I can guarantee it won't be making the same amount of money as it usually do. Let's shift gears to talk about what's happening at home. With all of the men out of the workforce, who's handling the domestic front? Now, a lot of women could argue here and say, well, women have been taking care of the home front anyway. Even when the man works, I still take care of the majority of stuff at home. Absolutely. But one of the things that modern women don't realize is that we can hear that fire alarm going off in the background. See, if you have a real man that loves you and takes care of you in the home, then he's going to make sure that the things in the home are done. A lot of women complain about their domestic chores that they have to do, not realizing that men contribute to this in a way too. A lot of dudes today actually help out with housework more than in any time that I can remember in history. Additionally, men cut the grass, men take care of the maintenance of the cars, men take care of that pesky rodent that you can't get rid of. These are the kind of things that men do for their woman when they're with them.
I wanna take care of my family, have a happy home. There's so many women out there that are like, oh, we need to be equal, but then they get mad at certain things, and I'm like, I want my man to be a man and me to be and I don't care.
All of these things do not get talked about when we talk about what happens with domestic work. But for the majority of women, they ain't trying to kill that spider. But in a scenario where men are home for a week or disappeared for a week, fellas, that is our time to shine. No more debates about who left the toilet seat up or if you forgot to take out the trash. Don't you hate that? But if we're being honest with ourselves, a lot of times men just work, and we don't get the appreciation or the time off that we need or deserve. So all men taking a week off might be just the vacation that a lot of men need. Now, I promised you in the beginning, I was going to tell you what ChatGPT says about this. I specifically typed in this scenario to ChatGPT, and I wanted to see what it was going to tell me. Now, I typed into ChatGPT and said, in the above scenario, what do you think will happen? I wanted a real analysis of what would happen if men took a week off. How would it impact daily living? When it talked about gender and workforce dynamics, this is what it said. The absence of men from the workforce would provide an opportunity for women to step into roles they may not have considered before, potentially challenging gender stereotypes and promoting workplace diversity. Companies might need to quickly adapt to ensure continued productivity, possibly leading to a reevaluation of traditional gender roles in the workplace.
Here's all the reasons why we don't need men in society anymore. You thought. We absolutely need men in society. Now on a phenomenal scale. Why? Because the imbalance that is happening right now is extremely harmful to society. Yet women are saying you're not needed and we don't want you. They do all the jobs, that me personally, for example, I wouldn't want to do half the shit that men do in society. I am so glad I'm a freaking woman.
Women have the same opportunities that men have. There is not much that men are doing that women cannot do today. They want to close this hypothetical, magical, unicorn-like ass gender pay gap thing. And the reason that the gender pay gap exists is because women do not want to take some of the jobs, or they aren't trained in the skills, specifically like STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, to allow them to get these higher paying jobs. They don't want to take the jobs that really pay the big bucks. And those jobs are typically filled by the men that they don't want to deal with. So I tried to get a little bit smarter about what I asked it. This is where it started talking about the medical profession, basically leading to the point where people may not be able to get the healthcare that they need. It talked about our infrastructure. It talked about our transportation. There's not as many female pilots. There's not as many female bus drivers. A lot of those things are done by men. Then you have to think about the deeper implications. Most farmers are are men? What happens when they take off or they don't exist or they're not working? There are a lot of jobs out there that women do not do, that they do not care to do, and men can't take that time off or our infrastructure would crumble. The lights would go off. We wouldn't have power. We wouldn't have the water. We wouldn't have a lot of vital services that we actually need to survive as a society if we didn't have men. So let's stop pretending that men are not a vital and important part of a functioning society. Saying that men aren't needing is not only insulting, but it's simply not true. Men and women need each other. Stop listening to the lies of the people who is spreading this type of narrative.
Some bad news to these man-hating feminists. I am so sorry to break this to you, but we absolutely need men. And not just for the sake of our population not dying out forever and the world coming to an end, but men are imperative in the most important fields in the world. Men make up 85% of the military. That house or building you're currently sitting in, guess what? Almost 99% of construction jobs are man-made. Firemen, 92% men. Pilots, 91% men. 82% of farming jobs proudly occupied by men. And I just said the word man-made. It's something I celebrate, but it's interesting because I was just thinking about it. And I'm like, you know what? There is going to come a time, probably not too far off from now, where the word man-made is no longer even allowed to be used. I can just see the liberal nut jobs coming after the word man-made. I mean, the writing is already on the wall, as we have already seen. But back to other men-dominated industries that we would clearly suffer without. Landscapers, well over 99% men. 99% of carpenters are men. Inventors, fishermen, policemen. Also, all male-dominated professions. Guys, let's just cut the BS. Even if you hate men or embody the most extreme forms of feminism, there is no way you can say that we do not need men. And don't forget, if it wasn't for a man, you would not be alive. And that is a scientific fact.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this